thermometer there, or it's no thermometer, but what it said the outside temp was. So yeah, hope we have a pretty day. These pretty days help sales, and I need lots of sales right now. Hey Lord. Anyway, I don't even devil off into that right now. I got to deal with some junk again today. I tried to deal with it yesterday and I was on the road. And anyway, I was supposed to be leaving out to go up yonder to that sportsman show, and everything fell apart. And the people I was going to meet broke down on the way and had to have their vehicle towed back home. And so, anyways, I've been fighting with a motel trying to get refunded for, anyway. I'll never use if they don't give my money back, I'll never use a Best Western again, ever. I'll stay in one of those Holiday Inn Express. They're usually very nice places anyway. Most of them are. They'd have to be in a pretty dumpy place to run into a bad one, I would think. Probably one of the nicest ones I ever stayed in was a Holiday Inn in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. But anyways, not too happy with them right now. Back over to you, Steve, N4LQ, K04SSY.
I heard somebody was too far off frequency. Who was that?
That was Jim. I got him.
Oh, okay. Hi, Jim. Yeah, you were down and I was up or something here. Anyway, it's 29 degrees here too, and it's going to be a pretty day. Up close to 60, I believe, again. It was a nice day yesterday. Got out and took a walk and had a good time. So yeah, this thing was kind of a junker, and I kind of got it together here. And the microphone isn't very good, I don't think, but at least it's working. So glad of that. So I guess who's it go to? Over to Jimmy?
Yeah, I go back and down to Jim. Okay, I'll pick it up. I got a little SWR this morning for some oddball reason. I guess I need to go shake the birds off the antenna. Anyway, good morning to you, Jim. You're sounding good. Everybody's sounding good. And Bill, sorry about the situation with the motel. I tell you what, you can't get decent service anymore anywhere, seems like. It's just unreal. But that's life in the fast lane, I guess. K04CTM, take it. K4YBC.
K4YBC in the group. Good morning, Bill, Steve, and Cuz. Yeah, it's about 29 degrees here in Climax, the grand small town of Climax, North Carolina. Pretty frosty this morning out there. Got the wood stove cranked up after the house getting pretty chilly last night, so trying to warm that up. Yeah, Billy, I'll tell you, once they take your money, they don't want to give it back. It doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter whether it's a motel or whoever. You know, it's the days of people really caring one way or the other, whether they give good service, I think, are gone for the most part. I'm sure there's some out there that care about it, but not many. Steve, I'm picking you up fine. I mean, you sound different than normal, but not bad at all. I mean, I don't think the mic sounds all that bad. The little night kit's doing a good job this morning. So I guess it goes back up to Bill. So KO4SSY, take it away. KO4CTM.
Ready, so we'll just keep on. Yeah, I tell you, You know, it's the... I don't operate that way. I mean, it's just, you know, if I take somebody's money and something comes up and they call me back and say, man, if we attempt to deliver and can't deliver or something like that, then that's a different issue. We don't refund at that point because we've got money invested. But if it's just they come back and buyer's remorse or whatever and they want their money back, I give it back, and it don't matter. You know, there's a lot of companies out there that don't or keep part of it or whatever, and sometimes there is those customers that, you know, they're just jerking your chain and you would like to hold some of it for the troubles, but it's just not, you know, I fully intended to go until the reason I was going was to meet my friends up there, of course, to go to the show, but they was the reason I was going, not the show. So, I mean, I wanted to go to the show, but, you know, it just wasn't going to be the same without them being there. And so what you get into is he actually called the motel himself and booked it there personally. Well, I just pulled them up online and booked online. Well, that's what they get you. Once you book online, they say, well, you booked through Expedia. You get a hold of Expedia, well, you booked through a travel agent. And you finally get to the travel agent, well, that's a non-refundable. And I said, non-refundable, my tail. They kept on, they said, well, this is what we do. We'll refund your money, but we want your PayPal account. I said, like, heck you are. You going to refund it? You going to refund it back to my darn card where you took it from? No, we can't do that. It's a bull crap. So at that point, you know, it looks to me like another freaking scam. So I don't know, man. Just anymore, you can't. You have to be everything you do. You have to treat them like a freaking crook, whether they are or they not. That's not good. So I don't know. Anyway, N4LQ, pick it up. K04SSY.
Okay. KO4SSY and the group N4LQ. Yeah. Sing him a gospel song. Yeah, I know that it gets complicated going through a travel agency, and they get a special rate for you. Usually, that's why people use them, I guess. And they reserve the room. I guess their argument would be that they could have rented the room to somebody else if they had known that you weren't going to use it. I don't know. I can see both sides of it, and it's different. But you know, they're out a little bit because, well, they could be out the whole price of a room. You know, that's the way they see it. I'm not saying that's right. That's how they see it. Anyway, it wouldn't matter so much if the hotel rooms weren't $100 a night, but it used to be like they were $19.95. You remember when they were $6.95 or something for a night in a hotel? Let's see. Go ahead, cuz. K4YBC, N4LQ.
N4LQ, K4YBC. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't remember $6, but I do remember, $14.95 or something like that. Of course, back when I was growing up, I was too poor to stay in a motel, so I didn't know what the rates were. Anyway, oh well. Steve, or Billy, I hope everything works out for you. But I'm having a problem here with the stupid credit card company. I canceled that stupid card 2 years ago. But yet they're still accepting a charge from Snort, the computer people on Norton. I'm trying to get rid of them, and I canceled a credit card, but the darn credit card's still trying to charged the Norton to my credit card, which I have canceled twice. I mean, I've canceled it. I called them, I don't know, maybe 3-4 times, told them absolutely not, cancel, but they got some kind of a policy if somebody's been using it like that yearly, that they'll go ahead and pay it. But I'm going to let my daughter get a hold of it today and see if she can straighten them out, because they just won't take no for an answer, even with a canceled credit card. So there you go. Oh well. KO4CT K4YBC.
K4YBC in the group. Real good, because I have an aversion to cars. I try, and I know in some cases, especially something like the Norton or whatever, you don't have a choice, but I've really been trying to go back to paying with cash as much as I can anywhere I go, and I keep my debit card locked. So the only time I unlock that is if I have to go and get cash. So I do everything on a credit card, and then pay it off, usually once a week or at least every other week. It just operates that way. But I'm pretty sure. I mean, if you were paying for the Norton on a credit card, you should be able to dispute it with the card company. I mean, even though you've canceled, I think I understood that you canceled the credit card, but it seems like to me that the credit card company should just tell Norton, sorry, you're out of luck. So another thing where if they get your number or they get your money, they don't want to let go of it. Okay, so I'm going back up to Bill. So KO4SSY, take it away. KO4CTM.
KO4 Bill. Go ahead, Chuck. Give it back to me.
You ran thing this morning? Good morning, Bill. How you doing? Had a busy day in public safety yesterday in Yankton County, so had to land a helicopter and other stuff, and it was a busy day. So I'm gonna go ahead and get woke up and see y'all in here. Go ahead, Billy. KM4CL. Let me find your call here. KO4SSY, Bill.
About Dave or somebody else. Sleepy-headed Greg. Yeah, Al, he's just about as dependable as I don't know. So anyway, Chad, what are you saying, Chad? You was a pecan boy yesterday? You one of them pecans out there in that direction? Yeah, cheerleader. That's what it was. Oh Lord. Yeah, I was on the road all day yesterday. So, finally got that out of the way for now. So, yeah, see if we can try to make up for lost money today. Keep on moving forward. Hey, it's pretty days. It seems to have picked up quite a bit, boy. It's been pretty bad for a while. These sunny days is bringing the people out, so I like that. So give me more sunshine. That's what I want. Keep them sales coming. Keep everybody happy. I've been making about half of what I was making. That hurts pretty bad. So Got to get these numbers back up. N4LQ to pick it up, KO4SSY.
This is N4LQ. Having trouble keeping up with the frequencies here this morning. He jumped up, Billy went up 2 kcs up to 3887, kind of into that other guy. Oh man. We'll say this about Norton's. I don't like Norton. That outfit, I guess you're talking about the antivirus software. That's about like America Online used to be. You know, you get it, then you can't get rid of it. It's not very good, and it gets into every nook and cranny of your hard drive, and it's hard to get rid of it once you decide you don't need it anymore. Windows has got so much protection now on it, the built-in software protection. You don't really need an antivirus. It's good to have an ad blocker, which I use all the time. It keeps the ads down a bit, but not antivirus anymore. I just use Windows. It's got plenty of protection. So the best thing you can do is to start trying to eliminate Norton's. I never did like that company from day one. Let's see. Wasn't it Motel 6 that was $6? Isn't that how they got started? Go keep the light on for you. Seems like it. Anyway, yeah, then they went up to like 15, and next thing you know, they're up to $100 a night now, probably. K4YBC, you're sounding good this morning. What are you going to eat today? It's N4LQ.
N4LQ, K4YBC. Okay, Steve. No, I think we'll wait till tomorrow, and I think we're going to go out tomorrow, and we'll find someplace, probably the Boxcar Grill tomorrow, or we might go to the Golden Corral. Not sure yet, but tomorrow, I guess, will be the day. And golly, I think motels up now are up to about 100. Just the cheapos are up to about $129 or something. Seems like. The last motel I stayed in was over at Sevierville at the Ham Fest, and I stayed at a little one up there in Pigeon Forge, and it seemed like it was like 100. It was over $100, I think. So I could get my ledger out here to look, but I don't know where it's at right now. But it seems like it was over $100 just for one night there in Pigeon Forge. What kind of rig you on this morning, Steve? It sounds good. I think I heard you say it's a night kit or something. I'm not sure. KO4CTM, K4YBC.
K4YBC. Just KO4CTM. Well, I don't know, Steve. I don't know that much about I mean, I have an antivirus on my computer. I can't remember. I think it's Avis or something like that. Free job, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how safe Windows is. I mean, nowadays I don't think anything electronic is safe. They're either tracking you, following you, recording you, something. So I think it doesn't really matter what you're on or what you're doing or what kind of software you have or what kind of software you don't have. Somebody somewhere will figure out a way in. So anyway, sometime, cuz, I'm going to head your way. I used to live up in Wilkesboro, and still have a good friend that lives right around Hickory. So one of these days I'll have to make a road trip and see you. So since I've gone to see Steve, and thanks to him, I'm talking on the Viking, but I guess most everybody else, a lot of them are a little bit more west, so I'd have to make a little bigger road trip. But anyway, all right, I'm going to send it down to Chad. So Chad, good morning, Chad. KM4RCL, KO4CTM.
KM4RCL, good morning, and we usually see each other on Hamfests and everything. Usually, well, a lot of us don't miss a Hamfest when that comes around. So, that's when we usually try to get together and, see, I need to take better notes. I think that's the best everybody's go. So, yeah, go ahead, Billy. And I ain't got that much and still trying to get woke up.
Anybody else ready to check in?
WK4.
Go ahead, Reckless, and give it back to me.
Got nothing to say other than good morning. So, good morning, everybody. Back to you, KO4SSY, WK4.
I don't know. That's something I can't get a hold of, Rick. I've never had a problem with that. When I wake up, I'm 90 to nothing, ready to go, wide open, wide awake, hit the road, jack, all that. It kind of tickles me when I hear y'all stumbling around, falling around, trying to find a cup of coffee and all that good stuff. But well, it's just the dynamics of different folks, I guess. It takes all kinds, right? But good morning, and good to hear you, old sleepy head. Come dragging in. Yeah, it's well, we can just keep these sunny days. That's what I need. Sunny days ahead, and you'll patch that thing up there, Steve, and get her going the right way where you're not having to do 5 things at once. Say the audio and stuff's good on it. Like I say, it just, to me, just a tad, but I mean, it's no. Once you got that home to go away, it's good, clean, not scratchy or nothing else. So it sounds good. Get it nailed down. M4LQ KO4SSY.
K4JL.
Okay. Good morning, Jimmy. Well, it's because this is a Night Kit T150 that actually was given to me by Mir, WF2U, and he had a couple of them and didn't need this one, so I guess he just gave it to me, but now I owe him, I guess. But it was pretty rough underneath. Looked like it was wired by some kind of madman. Front panel looks good. Case is a little rough. I'm going to sand it down and paint it. It'll look like a new one. A Night Kit T150 was a big deal back in the early 60s and mid 60s, and it was advertised as a high-powered CW AM transmitter, 150 watts, and that's 150 watts input, not output. And it's got a VFO crystal jack on the front, and it's screen grid modulation only, but it's got a pair of 6146s, so it's got a lot more power than just the run-of-the-mill DX60 type rig. So it puts out about 25 watts carrier power maximum, and then when you talk, of course, the power jumps up to a high level. On the Boxcar Grill and Golden Corral, we'll probably go to the Golden Corral tomorrow maybe, and but today unfortunately is Taco Bell day. It's her once a week Taco Bell thing I have to take her to. If she doesn't get it, I'll never hear the end of it. Yeah, I wanted to say something that, let's see, Jim, KO4CTM, and KN4RCL, Chad, you guys are probably pretty close to the same age, your 40s. And so you're in the younger generation. And good morning to Rick. And let's see, on the software, yeah, I don't use any kind of antivirus because from what I've seen in Norton's, it is worse than a virus. Very troublesome thing. But I use something called CC Cleaner. It's like Charlie, CC Cleaner. It's free, and every now and then, if things start hiccuping or something, you can run that, and it'll go out and find all the extra stuff that you don't need, your registry, and it'll find all kinds of bad things, and then it will save them for you in case you have to restore it, and then you can just delete the whole shooting match and start over again. It'll clean up everything for you. It's pretty neat. And there's another one called Malwarebytes that's pretty good too, and they have a free version. Over to you, Cuz K4YBC, N4LQ.
N4LQ, K4YBC. Yeah, if I ever get rid of them, that's going to be it. That's for sure. And like I said, they're into everything. T150 sounds good. I built one of those, Steve, back in the early 60s. Ordered the kit and built it. I checked everything as I was building it, and checked it off and double checked it. And when the time come to fire it up, it died, and I got to looking, and I put a diode in backward. So I had to order another diode for it, and I used it for a long time. I used it on 10 meters, made a lot of contacts on it, and I had an old RCA AR88 receiver, another boat anchor, and used it on 10 meters. It worked out real good. I really enjoyed that thing. I don't know what I ever done with it. Oh, yeah, I do too. Any of you guys remember when Freck Radio was over in Asheville? I traded it over at Freck Radio. I traded it in on a Yazoo FT DX401 transceiver. Yeah, I think it's kind of a hybrid transceiver. I use vacuum tubes, but I think it had a few solid state boards in it. But anyway, that's where I traded it. Old Freck Radio over there on Biltmore Street or something there in Asheville, North Carolina. KO4CTM, K4YBC.
K4YBC approved. KO4CTM. Well, Steve, I'll tell you what. You win the prize for the day. I don't know how old Chad is, but I just turned 60. So unfortunately, I got into this hobby so late that many of you guys are probably not all that much older than I am, or maybe you are, I don't know, but you've been hams forever. So I started late, I've only been a ham for 4 years, but I did turn 60 in 2023. So I do appreciate it. If you thought I was 40, I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'll check out that CC cleaner too. I think this Abbott software will clean your registry and whatnot, but not with the free version. So I'll have to check that out. Billy, I don't know. I'm usually up early. I usually get up around 5 or 5:30 and build a fire if it's cold. At least get some coffee going. So I'm usually ready to roll before it gets too late. Sometimes I sleep in, but not too often. But good morning, Rick, and good morning, Jimmy. Good morning to y'all. So I'll send it on down to Chad, KN4RCL, KO4CTM.
I really don't know what Rick was thinking either. I just turned 41, and Brandon will be 46, I believe, this year. So Brandon was about 5 or 6 grades ahead of me. I think he might have graduated in 97 or something, maybe. I didn't graduate till 2001. So I'm a millennial. Anybody born after 1980 is a millennial. And most millennials struggle with starting a lawnmower. So I like to find a ham operator with a general or something. A lot of technicians, I guess, but that knows how to operate a ham radio that's younger than I am. I mean, a real, like a tuna Viking or something, or something like that. This younger generation ain't got it in there. So I guess me and Brandon's going to talk to each other in 20 years if I live. And the rest of you guys, if you live, then 20 years we'll talk to you too also. That first video that Cuz was talking about, I guarantee you, it probably went out of business before I was born. So I would say sometime before 1983. So I say that was been many a moon ago. So I'll go ahead and set it on down to Richland down there. KN4RCL WK4R.
WK4R. Must not be many in here. Anyway, Billy, by the time I get here, I've already done another net. I don't want to hear it. Hello, Garfield. And Steve or someone. Something I've kind of wondered and kind of know, but I'm not sure. The T-150, I think you said, did a 25-watt carrier, if I heard you correctly, with two 6146s. The Viking 2 does 100-watt carrier and doesn't melt down. I assumed you to hour plate voltage and some other things, but enlighten me. Computers. I use Windows Defender, CC Cleaner, and Malwarebytes. As Steve said, excuse me, Norton has become a virus in itself to me now. In the early 90s, it was decent back then. It wasn't bloated and had all this crap in it and stuff, and Avast wasn't real bad back when it came out, but McAfee has always been useless in my opinion. Just my opinion. Reading and research showed me that Defender wasn't a bad choice, and it comes with windows anyway. So, and I haven't had any issues with it so far. And the other stuff. Let's see. I think that's enough for now. K4JAL, WK4.
WK4R, K4JAL. Well, I moved my RM Italy around so I can see it if it alarms, so I won't old buzzard on if it cuts out on me. It usually just does that when the swirl is up. So there you go. Cuss used to be, when I was a kid back in the 50s, that Frick Radio was Valhalla to us young Vikings. It was the only place, coming from Burnsville, NC, that I could go see actual ham hardware. I had all the catalogs, and I could look at it in there, and I couldn't afford anything but Frick was it. And I think Donald Anglin lived there constantly. You need to talk to Don about Frick. Yeah, it was located right down from the Plaza Theater, my second favorite air-conditioned theater in Asheville. So I know all about that stuff. And I guess I'll give it back to Billy. I think he's at the top of the list. K04SSY, K4JAL.
All righty, Mr. Jimmy. Anybody else ready to check in? And I reckon not. Well, computers. I hate them. Have to use them all day, every day, but I hate them. And I got so sick of all that junk y'all was talking about, so I said, to heck with it all. I just went and spent the money and bought an Apple, and I don't have to worry about nothing. I hate Apple, but at least I don't have to worry about all that junk y'all was talking about. None of it. Just turn it on, use it, turn it off. I've had this one for, I don't know, probably going on 8-9 years, maybe longer. And no issues, none whatsoever. I got tired of the hacking and all that garbage from them others, and the viruses and all the bull crap. So, and some of these others may have done something about it since then. Steve saying they have, possibly, maybe, but no, just as bad as I hate it, it's a big learning curve to switch from a HP to an Apple. Everything is quite the opposite. It's almost like left hand, right hand. I mean, it's total difference, and you got to learn how to traverse it. But once you get there, it's the peace of mind is what I like. I just don't have to worry about it. Ain't none of my stuff. Thank God, been hacked since I went with Apple, and that means phone and computer. So the Androids, I just dealt with bull crap on them all the time too. So, and I'd much rather use an Android as far as a phone, but too much to worry about. So I just stick with what I can depend on. N4LQ to pick it up, K04SSY.
Okay, K04SSY, N4LQ. Picked up the mic by the stem and the base fell off. Typical, there's nothing holding it on. It's just like you turn it just a little bit to hold it on. This old JT30. Let me see here. Frick. I think you're saying Frick, like Frick. I was looking here online, and there is a Harry Frick, who's a ham. Harry the Hairy Ape. KC4EZN. Harry C. Frick, up there in Buncombe County. So I just wonder if he's the man or is some relation to the original Frick radio place. I never heard of it, not being from here, of course, originally. Yeah, somewhere I got the idea, Jim, that you were in your 40s. I don't know why. You do look young, and I don't know. You got a lot more hair than the average 60-year-old, that's for sure. Let's see. And Rick, your question on the power. Well, The reason is the T150 is screen modulated. Well, that falls in line with all the little transmitters like the DX60 and the Amicos and all that kind of stuff. They don't have no modulation transformer. It's not plate modulated, so you save a lot of money, and that's why they came out with these. Basically, is that eliminates a lot of cost and weight and expense and power usage and all that stuff. And when you switch over from CW to AM, your power drops drastically, and my dogs are driving me crazy here. Yeah, so go ahead, cuz I can't hear anything. K4YBC, N4LQ.
Let me come down the band just a little bit. That's close enough. Okay, real fine. Yeah, I built that little T150 some years ago and enjoyed it. A great little old rig. And yeah, I was thinking they were screen grid or control carrier modulated. I couldn't remember. But I made a lot of contacts. I used it mostly on 10 meters, and that was back when 10 meters was open, and you didn't really need much of an antenna. I think I used a little 10-meter dipole. And I worked stations all over the country, all over the world with it. But it was a good little rig. And seemed like the guy's name that run that place was Denny, D-E-N-N-Y, Denny Frick. It seemed like. And yeah, I know, Jimmy, you said you was familiar with it, and Don is too. Yeah, at that time, that was the only radio store in this entire area, I guess. They sold a little bit of everything, and they'd horse trade with you, and that's the way I got my Yazoo FT DX401. I traded in that T150, and I traded in a little Helicrafters SR150. And I seemed like I traded something else too. But then I only ended up having to pay a few bucks extra. And I really did like that little FTDX401. I really enjoyed that rig. And it was a little powerhouse. It'd run 535 watts at PEP on sideband. That's pretty good for a little desktop transceiver. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here too, gentlemen. I need to get some things done. I enjoyed it this morning. And yeah, Jim, we'll get together one of these days down Hickory or somewhere. Maybe when the weather breaks and it gets warmer. So 7-3s, everybody. And Rick, I was going to scold you just a little bit. You know, I went over to the gym Monday, I think it was, and I think I saw your wife over there, but I didn't see you nowhere. So, K04CTM, K4YBC.
K4YBC, K04CTM. Very good, cuz. Have a great day. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Get together, see you at a ham fest, something. It's always good to actually meet and put a face to a voice. And Steve, I appreciate it. Yeah, I my hair is a lot thinner than it used to be, but it's still there for the most part. One thing I'm fixing to, and I'll throw this out for anybody that may have more knowledge. I'm going to put, I've got a little Tintec Argonaut 509 that I'm going to put on the bench probably today or tomorrow or sometime maybe over the weekend or something. It works great on CW, and it functions on sideband, but it's almost like no matter what you do, you're not on frequency when you're operating on sideband. So, it's a little solid state job QRP rig, and so I'm not sure if it's an alignment issue or if there's something else going on with it, but I'm going to try and figure that out so that I can throw it up there every now and then on the air and do a little QRP and whatever. But I've got to try and figure out why it's like it's no matter how you tune, it's just almost like it's off frequency. So I need to try and figure that out. Just gives me another thing to work on. But so I'll sit around and probably listen here a little bit. I got to jump on the computer and do some work, so I'm gonna slide out as well. But I'll be listening. But 7-3 to everybody. Have a great day, and I'll send it down to Chad. KM4RCL, take it away. KO4CTF.
Our tech guys in Florida. That's one of them questions you probably need to ask Cliff. He can probably quote you what's the matter with it off the top of his head. He is the master on working on any kind of old radios. I think he's done it before, and he's probably got every kind of old radio in stock in his building. I think he has 2 warehouses full of them radios. So, and he's probably down at Orlando trying to buy more, I'd say. Like I said, he's got the technical problems. So, if you don't figure out this weekend, ask Cliff when he gets back, and he can set you on the right track. And well, Rick, Garfield made a statement a while ago, and whether you wanted to hear it or not. And I've never heard tell that first radio, and gave you proof the Quasar Fiesta E1. Because it's on Biltmore Avenue, so I Googled Plaza Theater on Biltmore Avenue. The oldest theater I remember going to as a child, and the movie I seen was Home Alone that come out in 1990. So that's my first trip to the theater to see Home Alone in 1990. Man, that was a long time ago. And I Googled it, and it come back to the Plaza Theater, some old pictures to Biltmore Avenue. So I went down Biltmore Avenue using Google Earth to view any kind of old structures, and that Plaza Fine Arts Theater might be the Plaza. Jimmy, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Right there above the orange peel, where I think there used to be a roller disco back in the 70s. But I went there to see, I seen Benny Powell, and Benny Powell's a great drummer, probably the greatest drummer of our generation. He recently died, so I'm glad I got to see Benny Powell of Pantera. And man, he is a great performer. And Chad Gray, I think Auburn's dead now. And he's really been probably 5 years ago. So KM4RCL, I think Jim got out. So I think he goes down to Rick. Go ahead, WK4R, KM4RCL.
WK4R. Chad, I'm just curious if you've blowed any more fuses today. sound like you've had a good day so far. And Dave, if you're listening, I was there at the gym, except I was in one place instead of wandering around the track like she does. And Billy, I hate to inform you, but the Mac can still get a virus. They even have their own software to protect it. They may not be as prone, but a PC is not as prone either if you'll watch where you go and stay away from certain websites and things like that. Watch your email. Just have to be vigilant about what you're doing. Anyway, I guess I'll go one more round here. K4JAL, WK4.
WK4R in the group, K4JAL. Chad, that fine art theater evolved into the late 60s. It was a porno house, and it was almost next door to Frick Radio. But the plaza was up on the corner on Pack Square. I think there's a library in there now or something like that, but it sat right on the corner of Pack Square. They had the first run movies and good air conditioning in the summertime. So that was rather unique. The Imperial on down on Patton Avenue was. I was a movie aficionado at the time. After I went in the Army and came out, I never went to the movies again. But as a child, I lived for the movies. So that's about it. Billy, I've been running windows of all varieties, and everybody cusses it all the time. And knock on wood, I've never had any trouble. I'm fairly vigilant, like Rick says, and don't hook on to everything I see on the internet. The internet's what'll kill you with a PC. Anyway, over to you. KL4SSY, K4JAL. I guess I'll 7-3 out too.
All right, Jim. Well, 7-3s, and so here's the test of all tests there, Steve. It's in the cabinet, so if it's not humming, you can tell Brian that they shouldn't. So all but put back in and buttoned up, ready to be put up. So it hadn't missed a beat since I changed out that selenium rectifier. So I'm going to say 7-3's phone's been ringing. I've been ignoring it. Boss probably ain't happy about it, but I'm going to get up here and start taking these phone calls. Everybody have a good day, and maybe we'll catch y'all in the morning. It's almost an inch high again, Steve, but that's... I don't know, this thing moves pretty steady. When I first started talking on, but it was so cold this morning till, well, I'm going the wrong direction, am I? Or am I not? Touchy as crap. Alright, that's as good as it's going to get. Anyway, 7-3s, everybody have a good day, and we'll catch you when we can. N4LQ, KL4SSY, clear 7-3.
No, you were okay. It's just that one time you got 2KC up, N4LQ. Well, Brian's 350 would just totally shut down when he put in the cabinet. And it wouldn't, not just hum, it hums all the time. So I think he just needs some capacitor somewhere in there. Let's see, Jim, CTM, if you're listening, here's what you got to do on the 509. You got to go to the manual, page 319, 3-19, SSB generator, and perform the alignment on it. I bought one of those things new back when they came out. I don't know, that was back in the early 80s or something like that, I guess. And I loved it. I used it to drive a Valiant. Valiant has a SSB input on it, and you can just use it as an amplifier. And I made a little CW filter for it and put that in there. But Yeah, so you go to the SSB generator page, and it tells you exactly how to do it, but you got to have a frequency counter if you're going to do it right, or a good receiver that's calibrated and a sharp filter. Let's see, if you got some kind of rice box like a 7300 or something, you can listen to it. You can pick up that oscillator, and if you're good at picking out the right pitch, you can probably get by with it. But a frequency counter is better, and it tells you how to set the frequency on it so you get your offset just right for sideband, and that'll do it. Let's see here, anything else exciting going on? Reckon not. Oh, Apple computer, good grief, that's not a computer, that's an appliance, and that's made for I tell you who used them most was colleges. All the colleges had them, and the artsy type you know what I mean, the artsy type people that like to draw and that kind of stuff and didn't really have any technical ability. That's the people that went for the Apples, and they were they didn't have a lot of trouble, but you're limited as to what you can do with software because there's not a lot of freeware and ham radio stuff. Now that some of that's caught up, there's a lot more ham radio stuff out there than there used to be that'll run on an Apple, but for the most part it lacks what is it, compatibility, or you know, where you can get in there and massage the software and make things work, and work with different printers and all that. Everything was kind of prepackaged. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about Apple. And Brian's an Apple man. He's an expert on that. He worked for Apple for a long time, and he was the service rep for installations and all that, installs in schools and all that kind of stuff around the Charlotte area. Yeah, so over to you, K4YBC. Go ahead, M4LQ.
He checked out.
I think he got out.
Well, K4YBC, don't take it. Go to Chad.
Okay, good deal, Steve. Yeah, we unloaded Brian and Steve Jobs' homies. I got a picture on Facebook, him with Steve Jobs sometime or another that they took together. So, yeah, I was looking at that West Radio, might be where White Duck Taco is. So, Steve, instead of Taco Bell, take your wife up to Asheville and get her a White Duck Taco. Asheville full of kind of crazy shops like that. And that theater you're talking about must have involved into the Asheville Art Museum. That's awful nice building that's in there. They remodeled it and made it into the art museum. So, right there on Pack Square, across from the Biltmore Corporate Headquarters, Merrill Lynch, and the old BB&T building, which they turned to the Loft Hotel and the AC Hotel in Asheville. Asheville's all about tourism and weird hippie shops and hotels now. So, I'll send it on down to, well, first of all, I need to get out of here, I guess, and say 73 and get on out of here, because it's about that time. So I'm going to send it on down to Rick and say 73, KM4RCL, WK4R, Rick.
WK4R. Well, dropping like flies. I didn't know that having air conditioning was important for a movie house, but I can see that. And I've been to some that had freezers instead of air conditioners. Man, even I was cold in there, or chilly. And Steve, I'm afraid that WA4LR would argue with us about Max and PCs. He had PCs, and he just couldn't get the hang of it, or he kept having issues. Then he claimed he got them back, never had an issue. Go figure. I think it was operator error, but that was just me. I too will say 73 and get out of here and see what's going on. And y'all have a good day. I should be here tomorrow. Will not be here Friday. So K4JAL, if you're still there, WK4. No, he got out. That's back to Steve.
What was that? Okay, that was me. Okay, my tuner's acting up. Anyway, yeah, okay, well, I guess the dogs finally calmed down here so I can hear. Boy, I bet somebody made a delivery, but they go crazy when that happens. Dave went to a Mac. Holy cow, I thought he was a preacher. All right. I'll see you all later. Have a good morning. N4LQ.